So we have said that the employees will let it go and have focus. So there is a question of having focus in your work. So that's another important aspect of decision making. The employees will be able to let go and have that focus. So we shall just move on to something else again. So when you make good decisions in an organization, then delegation will be very easy. So you'll be able to delegate easily. You'll be effective in your delegation. So one of the biggest problems with delegating almost includes delegating decisions. So, well, if you treat decisions as one model step, you are only just to do things yourself or throw the task over the wall and hope for the best. So decision making can also be delegated. So people can delegate decisions, so decisions can be delegated to those who have the skills, those who have the knowledge in terms of how to deal and how to tackle some issues. So delegation becomes easier and more effective because you are making the best decisions. So best decisions, whenever they are made, they come with the delegation. So in delegation, in this case, will be very easier and more effective because you are making decisions as a group. So when you make decisions as a group, then when you delegate, you don't have to doubt people you are delegating, because they have shown the ability, they have shown the capacity, the potential to work collaboratively to move the organization to another level. So you delegate based on the decisions that are given in the group. You delegate easily because people who gave you the group are competent, so to speak. So we move on. So another purpose of delegation is that people will make fewer mistakes. So there will be fewer mistakes made in an organization. So since decisions are so common, makes decision process create plenty of room for errors and misunderstandings. I already mentioned better decisions, so let's talk about misunderstandings and the many mistakes that originate in misunderstanding. So sometimes, many times, people have misunderstanding each other because of the decisions made. But if you make good decisions, then there will be fewer mistakes. So fewer mistakes are made. There will be little misunderstandings because of the decisions that are made. So many times, these decisions that are made well, you find that people will get to understand each other. So there is understanding of each individual, people understand each other. There will be fewer mistakes made in the organization because the decisions have been made collaboratively. So decisions are made collaboratively, and there are fewer mistakes that are committed in the organization. So the intention of the organization is to make fewer mistakes. So whenever there are fewer mistakes or sometimes no mistake, then that is the best part of the organization. So make sure that whenever you make these decisions, then the decision should help you have people get to understand each other, not having misunderstandings. So then another point is that you'll be able to learn from your mistakes. So we are human, and the human beings are bound to make mistakes day in, day out. So people are bound to make mistakes. So there are mistakes that individuals make, organizations make. There are mistakes that are made as at an individual level, at a group level. So many times when you make these decisions, ensure that you learn from the mistakes that you make. Learn from these mistakes. So mistakes should be learned from the word go. So you learn from the mistakes made by other people. So we are human and we are not perfect and are bound to make mistakes, errors here and there. So human beings make mistakes. They make errors. So making a bad decision from time to time is inevitable. So making a bad decision from time to time is inevitable. So it's inevitable when you make mistakes from time to time. It is human nature. It's the human nature that they make mistakes. Some mistakes are done intentionally, but there are some that are made unintentionally. So you need to find out which mistakes are made and which ones are made unintentionally. So it is what we do about those mistakes that teach us the most. So when you make a mistake or when you make a bad decision, what lesson are you learning from those mistakes, from those issues? What lesson do you learn from those mistakes? Are you learning something from those mistakes? Do you learn anything from those mistakes that you make? So sometimes making these bad decisions is not an issue, but if only you learn lesson from these mistakes, that will give you something good to improve on the management of the organization. So the only way we can really know whether we have made a good decision or a bad decision is by making those decisions, taking responsibility for the results, and taking steps to correct any poor decisions we have made. So many times we make these decisions, but we need to find out uh, if that's a bad decision or a good decision. And it's only a bad decision or a good decision once if we have participated and made the decision. But if we fail to make a decision, then we shall not understand whether it was a bad decision or a good decision. So we shall realize if it's a good or bad decision only if we look at the results. So the results determines the decision. So if the results are good, then that was a good decision. If the results are bad, then that was indeed a bad decision. But it's not a question of having a bad decision. What we need to do, what we need to understand at this point in time is that are we learning anything from the mistake that we have made in terms of the decision that we came up with? So try to learn something, try to learn something about the decisions that you make day in, day out. It is very important that you learn those mistakes, you learn from the mistakes. So good leaders learn from the mistakes, but bad leaders don't learn from the mistakes. They continue day in, day out making bad mistakes, bad decisions that affect the organization. So then another purpose of decision making is to make better decisions, making better decisions. So having had the experience of making poor decisions and having to deal with the outcome of those decisions will serve as a tool to help you make better decisions in the future. So if you make bad decisions, then it also helps you learn a lesson from that. Then in future, you'll start making a good decisions. You'll start making good decisions. You'll start making good decisions. So you'll begin making good decisions in this case because you made the bad decisions some time back. So making better decisions is another concept, is another area, is another issue because you learned in the past and the past taught you a lesson, you are not able to make better decisions. So the key to making better decisions is to educate yourself and make certain that you are fully informed about the contributing factors. So look at sometimes contributing factors to making better decisions are as follows. You are making a decision to get a promotion. You make decisions to get a job. You make a decision to get a salary. You make a decision to get an allowance. So these are some of the contributing factors to good decisions. So you think about getting a good salary, then you make a good decision. You think about getting a promotion as an employee, then you make better decisions. So better decisions come along with some factors, and those factors are issues that we have just mentioned some time back. So then making decisions also saves your time and money. So you save the organization's time in the most and of the foremost reasons why decision making is important for management. So in a vision, decision making gets you a lot of time wasted, but it also brings the motivation of the individual's way. So you get motivated. It saves also your time, your money, because whenever you make bad decisions, then you will go back again and think about handling an issue, dealing with that issue, then thinking about what you should do again, sitting back again and focusing on the decision that you made earlier, focusing on the issue that you talked about earlier that did not work. So ensure that whenever you are making decisions, the intention is to save time and money. But if you make bad decisions, then you will go ahead again. You'll go again ahead, sitting down again to revise the decisions. And sometimes it might take money because you made those decisions maybe in a hotel. You travel to get to sit in a quiet place to make a decision, but now you are back again spending money to revise that decision that was made. Now you move on to spend money, you spend time to travel, you waste a lot of time on a particular issue. So decision making saves your time and the money. So once you make the decisions, then you'll be able to improve on your time. You'll be able to improve on how to spend the money in the organization. Then we have what you call productivity boost. So productivity boost. So if the management exerts at decision making and it comes up with good decisions, it will boost your workforce's productivity in more than one way. So it boosts your workforce's productivity in more than one way. So for one, the employees will be motivated since they know where the company is heading towards. They will work knowing that their efforts won't go in vain. Second, there is no time being wasted since the management doesn't have a grain of doubt, and they are crystal clear that the decision they are making will end up putting their business in the right direction, in the right track. So, Menata, what we are trying to argue here is that on productivity, when you make good decisions in an organization, then the productivity of the company or organization goes up. So people become productive. People be productive. They are productive because of the decision that you have made. People turn out to be productive because of what you are giving them. So, and the productivity in this case involves issues to do with the end results, how the results look like, the success of the organization, the success of the given activities, and this a success comes by when decisions are made clearly. So whenever decisions are made well, then productivity, the level of productivity also goes up. Productivity goes up because of the decisions that people make in an organization. So it's not about decision making. Look at the relationship between decision making and how productive they will be in terms of the results, in terms of the end products, in terms of what is achieved at the end. So decision making is very key and it leads to productivity. So we look at those pictures. So look at those pictures again. Look at the pictures. I just want you to spend time and look at those pictures in terms of decision making. So that's a picture of somebody or an individual who has engaged the staff in making the decisions. So decisions are being made by the members of staff, and look at the benefit in terms of involving the members of staff to make the decisions. What the benefits come by when you involve the members of staff to make the decisions. So it's very important that you look at the benefits in terms of the workforce. That's exactly what we are focusing on. We look at the benefits in terms of the people that are working with you, people that are working in the organization, but don't look at the benefit in terms of your end as a manager or the CEO, the chief executive of some. So look at the benefit in terms of the people that you involve. So you need to involve people in making the decisions. So look at another photo. There is another photo there of a leader, for example, a manager who is also involving people in decision-making process, and you can see that photo there. So that's another photo. So from there, we will give the summary of the purpose of decision-making. I'll just give a simple summary of decision-making. So far, so good. We have looked at the decision-making process. We have looked at the purpose of decision-making. So let's look at the what do you feel in terms of the purpose? What is the focus? What is the key component of decision-making that help the organization move forward? So that is the important question. So we need to look at the benefits of decision making. What are some of the benefits? So we have said that it boosts confidence. All employees will be involved, and there is also productivity level. There is also the question of productivity. There is the question of saving time and resources. So we have talked about those issues, those benefits in this discussion. So decision making plays a critical component of life in terms of organization, individual, even the school, the institution, the university. So So far, it's so good. Those are the benefits of decision making. That's the purpose of decision making in organizations. So we shall wrap up at that point. That is the area when to stop at, and we pick up at another time.